This exercise will consist of painting scenes from the Four Corners area. Being born and raised in Arizona, and then as well as a kid we moved up into the Four Corners area, and being growing up around these wonderful old sandstone rock structures here, you can have some wonderful paintings come of this. For years I have tried to paint these scenes, and I have never been able to come up with the right color combinations until I started using the new semi-opaques that I was telling you about in my palette here. So what will be consists of this exercise is I will start with the rock foundations first. I'll come in here and start with the rock foundations first, and then I will go ahead and paint the composition straight on down, and then at the very last I will put a gouache sky on it. Okay, a gouache paint is a non-transparent water-based paint. Okay, and the reason I'm using the gouache on these paintings is because I want a nice crisp edge around these rock formations here. Okay, here we go. Starting with a big brush, a clean palette, fresh paint. I am off and running here. Okay, here we go. I will come in here and I'll get a little of this. I see that they have dried out a little. I'll take and squirt fresh water on the top of all my wells of my palette here. And what we will do is we will just start here. I will start from my left and work to my right. Okay, I'll have a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and we'll see what we can get here. We should get some wonderful color combinations, and that is green. I can see that that won't work, so I need to get rid of that and start with this color here. Okay, so we will start right here. Okay, coming down, I need to come over here and I need to set this in and make sure that I get the right. They're coming out here like this, and up and away we go. Here we go. Coming over here, I'll get a different color. I'll throw a little green in it, and then I'll start over here and I'll get a little periwinkle. A little periwinkle here. Or orchid, excuse me. This is orchid. Here. I get the names mixed up. This is periwinkle. Is a blue. And it's a really neat little color. So we can come over here and we can put this into here. All the while looking at my sketch. Okay. I want this to be colorful. I want to just come and I want to work that in like that. It's kind of a gray sandstone. What I can do here is I can come in with an orange, and I can put an orange on top of that. And then we get a very nice color mix as it's mixing down through here. Okay, I better be careful and watch that I don't go past my sketch here, because then I'll run into some trouble. Here's Taylor Flamingo Pink is a great little color, and we can come down here and come in like this and come over here and just bring it right straight down, following my sketch here. Okay, like this. Coming over here, I see that's a little too pink, so how do we get away from that? Is we put a little of this on top of it, and that'll change it to a gray. All the while applying the paint very quickly and with authority. Okay, let's just come in here like that and put more on top of that. Looking at my design here, I see that I could knock this up a notch there and come down to here. I will continue. I'll just pick up whatever I have in my palette here, and I'll just bring this on over to here. And I'll bring it right to there. I'll leave a few of the little white areas in here, but other than that, most of the paper will be covered with paint. Coming over here, I'll get a little of that and a little of that, and we'll see what we can do here. I don't like to get the same color as I go all the way through this thing. I like to have a little color change here. I'm going to bring this one down to there, and maybe bring this down like this here, and to there like that. Okay, now I see that I have a a little something on top of here. It's a little, who knows what it is, but we'll put it there. And we'll put another one over here. Now that's almost the same thing, so I will over here and I'll run this down like that, and over here and run that up like that. All the while just continuing to let the paint mix on the page. After a while you're going to have to pretty much stop this here, because after a while the paint will set, and we don't want to do anything to harm it. I can come over here and throw a little bit that, and it comes down like that. Okay, that's looking at my sketch here. I can come over here like that, loosen it up a bit, and bring it down here. If there's any correction I need to do on my rock formations here, I can do that when I put the gouache sky on here. Okay. What we got here is coming down. We have a great big tree right here. We have the little foothills right here. And then coming down we will have some little farmhouses here and everything. This is an actual place. It's called Gateway, Colorado. And it is over by the Utah border. Wonderful, wonderful little area. It's mainly a wilderness. There's nobody there. I guess that's why I like it, is because it's way out in the middle of nowhere. You get some really nice peace and quiet out there. Let's come over here and pick that up and come down with it. I like that color. Let's put another knob on this one. I think I'm pretty much, I could come in here again and touch that up, but I think I'm just pushing my luck if I go any further on this one. I think I just need to leave it alone and accept what it gives me. Okay, now coming down here, let's add a little here. This is some foothills that come down, and it will come down into this area right like that. Okay, right into here, and this will come up. So let's put this first one up here like this, and we can, ooh, I like that pink there. Okay, coming down here, working, standing up, and you can cover a lot of ground here, folks. I mean, just an awful lot of ground. Okay, coming down here, I have some more. I want to put a little bit of yellow in that. I don't want it so red. Maybe let's have some, I want some backlighting off of here. Oh, that's perfect. I'll come down into here now, okay? I want this to come up here like this. Now, I need to go to a smaller brush so I can cut around. I can cut around my little barns and such not that I have down here. And we're going to come in here like this, and we're going to come here like this. Okay. I always like to put these little structures in because it adds some human interest to this design. Being out here in the country, your closest neighbor could be 10, 20 miles away. So it's nice to put these in here. Okay, let's go up here, and then we'll come up here. All the while looking at my sketch. I will not paint a painting if I cannot look at my sketch. Okay, there's that there. And we got another one here. And let's do a little bit better job on that one. I need to do a better job than that. Okay. And we'll hook this in. Now, one thing we need to do right now is we need to come over here, and I see off in the edge over here that we have some more structures, some more sandstone mountains and everything. And it comes in like this, and then it steps down to there, and then it pulls in over to here like this. Now, I am going to have part of the Dolores River come through here and through here, okay? But now what I have to do next is I have some big trees. These trees are called country cottonwoods, and they're very hardy. You can drive for miles and miles and miles and not see any trees because there's no water out in the desert out here. And I see from my sketch I need to start up here, and I can put some green on, and I like to come up here and soften that edge. Come over here and I can get some yellow. Okay, let's soften this, and we need to go right over the top of this here. And what I'll do that, in that case, I'll throw some red in here, and I will continue making my tree shape. All the while thinking of nice, bold shapes. And if that doesn't work, we'll pull that off like that. And you can come in here and you can add a little blue and red. And you can make a very nice little here, and throw a dark in there and maybe a dark out there, and just let it mix on the page. Okay, now let's let that go like it is. I can come over here. I have the same thing happening over here. Let's put a little of that and a little of this and a little of this, and we got a great big one over here. So let's come over here, throw this shape in, pick up whatever you have under here, and then come over here like this. Okay, now working fastly. There. That's the key to painting this method, is work quickly. Okay, let's go there. I like to start with a little green, and once I have the green on there, I will go to a blue, red, coming in here like this, and just come in. I don't like to have just one green tree. I know it would be easy for me to do, but I want to have a nice selection here, and I'll pick up this and I'll just pull this off. It looks like, okay, here we go with this. Now, back behind these little houses, there is trees also. I'll come in here and I'll just get some red, straight red, and let's put that in, and let's bring these up like this. Here we go, over to here. Let's come down and over. Up, you can redefine that if you have to. I need to come over here and I need to fill this tree all the way down into here. And let's see what we can get here. I just want to do that. Get rid of that shape. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Not bad. Let's come straight over here and let's clean this up here. I've got to hurry because this color base that I just put on is drying out quickly. So I have to paint quickly. Let's try a turquoise tree. I bet that'll look fantastic there. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at that turquoise. It just made to be there. Just like that. Look at that. We'll make it a big tree. I'll come over and add a little red to that, a little blue. We'll get a nice gray, and we will just stick this tree in right here. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to leave a little of this base color under showing through here, because what I will do is I will take and I will put the trunks on the trees later, and we'll have a nice backlighting there. Okay. Now I can come over here and let's see, what color haven't I used? Let's use a little brown here, and let's just pick up that blue. That should make a very, very nice. And these little trees, they just go marching on down here. Okay, like that. And I have a few little ones here, and we can take a little brush if you'd like and set that in whatever you want. You're in charge of this business. This brush will not do anything until you tell it to. And let's just add a dark like I've done up here on these sides here. We'll have a little bit of this, the sunlight will be coming this way from my left. And what we can do is we can just add a few little darks to this. And we can just put them on the side where the shadow will be. And we can have a dark here. The reason I'm doing this right now is because I do not want a hard edge right there. Over here. All the while thinking that here I've got this down here, and look what's happening here. I have a wonderful, wonderful color mix. Look up here. This color here is still mixing together. Look how, that's why my board is on an angle, folks. I need to lift that up and pull that paint off the back and re-stretch it. That's why my board is on an angle, folks. is it helps me mix the paint once I put it on the page here. And coming down, look at this wonderful mixture we've got here and over here. So if you just have some faith, this will work out. Now, on these little hills here are from the slough-off material when these mountains deteriorate and they crumble, and they just make little foothills, little step foothills. The only thing that will grow on them are what we call pinion and junipers. They're called PJs, the little trees. And you've heard of a pinion nut, haven't you? Well, this is where they come from. And just grab up a bunch here, and I will just make a few little marks here like this for some of my PJs, and then we can have them through there, and I can have them come over here also. We can have them go marching up, as you could see from the sketch that we have them all the way across up here. So we'll go ahead and put them in right now. Now would be a good time to start setting the tone here. So I can do that. And I can also continue down. I have another row that's right here. Did you see where I changed from this color to this color? Then that's where the little PJs will go. Okay, like this. The nuts come every 7 years. They have a crop. And the Ute Indians would come down and they would spread blankets underneath the trees and then shake the trees. And that's how they harvested the pinion nuts. Okay. Now, before I go on any further, what I want to do is I want to take a little rigger brush right here and just get a dark. And I want to make some tree trunks in here. Okay. Yeah, we'll make some very, very nice little tree trunks here. Okay. And these great big ones here, you can just make like that. And I see I have, this is probably a double tree here. They got it like this. We can put another one in there. Who knows? Just put in as many as you think you need. Now here, I was telling you I had these that were showing through here. So I want to put them in now so they'll fuzz together. They won't be a hard edge there. Okay, now over here, I can put a couple in right here and just run it. I need a great big one for here. I'll get a bigger brush and come up here and just grab a little of that. And we'll put it in right now. Here we go, like that, around like that, around like that, like that. Here we go, here we go, here we go. If you put them in while it's still wet, then what will happen is they'll all fuse together. See, look at that. What I want to do in this area here is I want to come in with another dark over the top of that, and then when both the colors dry, then I can paint the trunk on the top of this brown. So let's get a bigger brush, and I think I'll just go with straight alizarin crimson on this right here, and I will make a darker tree on top, just like that. This is going to look very neat when I get done, because when this dries, then I'll put a dark trunk on front, and look, there's two sets of trees there. In essence, here what we have on these nooks and crannies of these rock formations, we have hundreds of millions of little areas that will deflect the light, make a light and a dark. In the past, where I ran into my problems trying to solve this, that's all painting is problem solving, okay? How do I do what at what time? And I'd always go in too early. So what I am going to do is I'm going to wait until I put my light source on before I even start deciding my shadows on these rock formations here. It's a wonderful process, and it works very nicely. So what I need to do next is I need to come down here and I need to complete this portion of the painting.